Hey everyone, it's Liz from West Star Tarot. I'm here today, January 1st, 2020, to do day one of the 31 Days of Tarot. As I'm sure most people know, this is a series that Ethony does every January for several years now. And the past couple years I have participated on Instagram, but I decided to do YouTube this year since I started a YouTube channel in September. So I don't have a lot of things to share, but let me start off with the lovely Prisma Vision Tarot. This was a gift from my daughter, a solstice gift that she gave me, and I've always been attracted to postings of the Prisma Vision. I love that whole concept of the minors being able to be laid out and telling a whole story and connecting from one card to the other. I thought I'd just show a couple of majors that I particularly like. Here's the Fool. This is the Magician, and it really reminds me of Alfred Hitchcock. I don't know why. Maybe because, I don't know. Anyway, Alfred Hitchcock. This is a great Chariot, the car with the headlights instead of the two sphinxes. A beautiful Hermit card. Absolutely stunning. And then these two, the Devil and the Tower, are, I think, really unusual depictions of those cards, and yet they really work. They're beautiful. I like those quite a bit. Another gift that I received was the Wee Moon calendar for 2020. This is a gift from my sister, and she gives this to me and one to my daughter every year for solstice. This is beautiful, and I urge anyone who is interested in women's spirituality to check this out. They have a wall calendar, and they have several different versions of this one, but I like the spiral bound because it flips open and stays open nicely. And I do use it to record different readings and different spreads that I've done throughout the year. Another gift that I was given was the Spirit Doodle cards. This was from a dear tarot friend of mine, very generously gifted this to me. And it's funny, I had seen a lot of posts about using the Spirit Doodle cards, and from the posts I couldn't quite get what the big deal was. And I know people were saying, oh, the guidebook, oh, the guidebook. And then I got the guidebook, and I totally get what people are talking about. This is a fabulous guidebook, so chocked with information, some by the author, Elron Mills, and some that's channeled. And I'm sure you can find walkthroughs and reviews of this online. But it's a great deck, and I'm looking forward to using it. I'm meeting with a friend later this week to do our year ahead spreads, and I will definitely be using the Spirit Doodle cards as part of that. So I then did gift myself a couple of little things. Not sure if that's kosher to talk about, but the first thing in January, I'm going to be studying tarot mirrors. I have had this book in my collection of tarot books for years and years. And in it, Mary Greer, it's by Mary K. Greer, in it Mary Greer talks about how she was influenced by Jane Roberts' book, The Nature of Personal Reality, while Mary was writing this book. And I read a lot of the Jane Roberts books with a friend of mine back in the 80s, and I know that I had that book, and I thought, all right, well, I'll pull that out and read that in January as well. But I couldn't find it, so I think I must have given it to someone. So I did buy it. This is Jane Roberts. It's one of her Seth books. This is channeled material that back in the day I found really interesting, and it was quite influential in my spiritual path. 30, 40 years later, I'm going to be interested to see how I jive with this, if it still makes sense to me, if it's still as powerful to me as it was back when I first read it. And then I like to, make goals for myself and think about what I want to do in any given year for my tarot study, because I'm always hoping each year that my knowledge about tarot deepens, my reading skill deepens, and I'm able to work with tarot on deeper and deeper levels. And so to that end, this year, I have decided to give in to the dark side, and I'm going to undertake studying the Toth Tarot. I have resisted this because a lot of what I've heard and read about Aleister Crowley just really turned me off towards this deck. But I'm going to give it a try. And after all, the artwork is Frida Harris, and it is really so different from Rider-Waite-Smith and, of course, Marseille. And so I'm going to give it a whirl. And I decided, so I did buy myself the Toth deck, and then I also bought this book. I couldn't quite bring myself to buy Crowley's book, so I've heard from folks that are into Toth Tarot that Lon Milo Duquette's book is really accessible, more accessible to the modern reader than Aleister Crowley. So I got the book and the deck. I have not pulled a card from the deck yet. I haven't consecrated the deck. It's just still been in the box. But I have started reading the book, and I do find it really quite readable and really interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. Don't know if I'll stick it through and really become a Toth convert, but at least I will become familiar with that system. So that's it. Those are my tarot goodies that I received this year. And I'm looking forward to seeing other folks' videos. And so ends day one.